Next up at UFC Vegas 65, we have a couple of heavyweights. We got Chase Sherman taking on Waldo Cortes-Acosta. Both of these guys with sort of the quick turnaround here. Chase Sherman is 16-10 overall, 1-4 in his last 5, but he is coming off that knockout win over Jared Vanderaa. He was supposed to fight, I think 3 weeks ago, something like, no, on the same card. He was supposed to fight 2 weeks ago, and his opponent dropped on fight night. So fight didn't happen. Waldo Cortes-Acosta, 8-0. He is undefeated. He's coming off his first official UFC win over Jared Vanderaa just 2 weeks ago. But what's important to note is his legs were lit up. Jared Vanderaa just absolutely blasted Waldo's legs, blasted them. And while he took them like a champ, I've never seen anybody take that many leg kicks and just continue to walk forward. There's no way that dude wasn't limping for a good week and a half. There's just absolutely no way. And this quick of a turnaround off that kind of damage, I think it's going to affect him. I actually think Chase Sherman can win this fight. Chase Sherman's a volume guy, comes forward. He's very, very hittable, which is very concerning. But he just comes forward. He found some power. He's fought the best in the division. And if he's going to fight a Waldo with busted up legs, I think Chase Sherman can win this fight. But let me be clear. If there's a full camp here, Waldo should win this fight because Chase Sherman is so hittable. And here's the stats before I pass it over. Chase Sherman gets hit with almost 7 significant strikes per minute. That's nuts. That's not good. That's a lot of damage. And somebody who hits as hard as Waldo could potentially put Chase out. But Chase is traditionally a pretty tough guy, bare knuckle champion. Waldo's going to have damaged legs here. I think Chase Sherman could absolutely get this done. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. And coming out of the Waldo fight, I think we watched that Waldo fight live on the live stream. By the way, tuning in live streams, we have a lot of fun on Saturdays, and we make a ton of money. But we were watching that fight live, and we all agreed in the live chat, we are going to fade Waldo from the time for forever. Because that dude is way, way overconfident. He was salsa dancing in the third round of a close fight that he was getting his legs. I mean, he was on the verge. He acted like it wasn't hurting, but he was on the verge of losing that fight to leg kicks. And he's out there salsa dancing, acting like he's just completely dominating that fight. In some aspects, I mean, he kind of did, but he was so like low volume in that fight, just looking for the big right hand, the big right hand, the big right hand against a guy like Chase Sherman. As you mentioned, is tough. Bare knuckle fighting. Could come in and just throw those jab, just throw that volume and wear down the guy like Waldo. That's something that Vanderaa wasn't able to do. He kind of focused on the legs, and I think he saw the path to victory with the leg kicks and just kind of stuck with it. Didn't quite pay off. If Chase comes in, lights up that leg a couple times, and then all of a sudden the movement of Waldo is compromised and he lays on the volume, I definitely see how Chase can win this fight. Now, my pick, like this is another one of those situations, guys. My pick is Waldo. Do not bet Waldo. Do not put a single cent on this dude Waldo, especially on the favorite money that he has. Like, what are the odds now? It's minus 220. I mean, I'm not touching the minus 220. I think the value here is in Chase Sherman for sure. But my pick for the fight, this is when everyone's like, oh, your picks are wrong. It's like, I'm telling you right now, my pick is Waldo. I'm not putting money on him. I might sprinkle something on Chase for sure. So that's the way it is. So if somebody goes, oh, you picked Waldo, it's like, fuck you.
I did a little half a unit on Chase. Same exact thing. This is actually the exact same situation with Ryan Spann. I said, I got to go with Dominic Reyes here, but Ryan Spann is stupid live in this fight. Those odds are just too good to ignore. Threw a half a unit on it. I got him at plus 185. Chase Sherman, I threw a half a unit. I got plus 160. So there's actually even better value now. This will yo-yo. I assume this is about maxed out right now because he's going to get too high and then people are going to be like, no, there's value there. And then that line will get pushed back down. So this is probably where it maxes out. We'll see what happens closer to fight night. But, I think Chase Sherman is actually my pick. I'm picking him to win. You're saying Waldo's your pick, but you see how Chase can win. So, I'm a little more confident.
Just give me Chase Sherman. I don't want to pick Waldo. I talked myself out of it. And Chase Sherman might end up being lock of the week at this point. I don't give a fuck. Let's switch our picks. I'm picking Chase. I just talked about why you shouldn't pick Waldo, and then I picked them. Fuck it. We'll pick Chase Sherman. Come on, Chasey, baby. Yeah.
I mean, the big concern is how hittable Chase Sherman. He's very hittable. I just showed you literally statistically, he's got like 11 fights in the UFC or something like that. He's got a lot of fights in the UFC. Actually, he's 4-9 in the UFC. So he has 13 fights, and his average is getting hit with almost 7 significant strikes per minute. That is a high number. Waldo hits ridiculously hard, but I'm imagining he's at 70% mobility. So let's see if Chase can
And
get
they're pretty
done.
telegraphed shots. I mean, these aren't right down the pipes. As somebody mentioned, he's a former pitcher and he throws punches like that. I mean, he cocks those things back and they come. And I have to imagine Chase can see those. He's a pretty experienced dude. So
yeah, so $7,100. I do think there's absolutely value in Chase here. I don't think he'll win by stoppage, but that's so affordable. He's one of the affordable guys on the card. If he's just coming forward, throwing volume, we did just watch him knock out Jair Vandera, but if he's coming forward, throwing volume, he could score well there. I'm not going to have Waldo in my DraftKings lineup. Certainly, he's live for a knockout with how hard he hits, how hittable Chase is, but I'm not going to do it. Monday Night Fight strike line 62 to 66. It's probably a more. Chase gets hit like crazy, but he also has good volume, good output. It's probably a more. What do you think?
That's 66 a lot for Waldo. That dude doesn't do anything. I mean, that dude just like sits and talks and taunts and acts like he's winning and then throws one punch and then walks around. Then he starts salsa dancing. I hate that 66 for him, to be honest with you.
I mean, it could be a more or less. Chase is just so hittable. Anything you throw out there is like.
But he's not Waldo isn't a boxer. He's just he's
a power puncher.
Ugh.
Well, anyway, Jacob has now switched his pick, so we are aligned on that. We're both at least appreciating Chase Sherman's odds in this fight.